What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today on this, the 8th day of January. Brand new year. Here we are doing the same old stuff, moving up and then moving back down. $90,200 is the price. We've had a low today of 89.2K. Right, and this is a little bit lower than what we were expecting, but it's not too far away, right? I think I was expecting, if I remember correctly, something around 90K, and I might have even said just below 90K. I can't remember what the original call was. I'm confident it would have been based off of either this low to high or this low to high. So let's just see. I would probably have taken this low to high. Bitcoin likes to find support at its 0.5. We probably weren't calling for the golden ratio overall. So yeah, it would have been between 90,600 and 89.5K. So actually that was the lower ends of the range. We still did go just below there. But I'm remembering, and I'm pretty sure I'm remembering correctly. I'm not trying to lie. I'm pretty sure we called this pretty damn accurately from the top. Like we literally at the top were expecting a pullback down to this area. I was personally expecting that we'd bounce more around this area. I was curious to see if we'd even go below $90,000 because that's a really nice move up. I was thinking that we might bounce right off the 382, but hey, we went just below the 0.5, still bouncing right at that 0.5 level. Bitcoin loves that 0.5 level, and I know we addressed that at the top, that Bitcoin throughout this whole cycle as support, as a point of resistance, the 0.5 has been an area that we've been watching on any fib scale. It doesn't show respect there 100% of the time, but it's no surprise here. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, if we take this low, let's see, this low here to this high here, that was a golden ratio support there. We take it to this high here, golden ratio support. You did find some support here at the 0.5 too. Maybe we found resistance at it over here. I don't know. High to low here. You found resistance initially at the 0.5, but you did push higher. I don't know. It's not, we're not showing as much respect in this zone, but still throughout this whole bull market since 2023, we really have been respecting that 0.5. Enough of that, though. Let's move on. We've dropped. We've made the pullback. I think, not financial advisor, not a financial advisor, I think this pullback is sufficient enough. I think the reaction we're having today is sufficient enough, and likely we will recover and continue to move up from here. I mean, really what we have, it kind of looks like a cup and handle, doesn't it? Does it not? It kind of looks like a cup and handle. And beyond that as well, it's as if we have this kind of like W shape here as well. It's not uncommon with these cup and handle patterns to come out after an Adam and Eve setup, which I think this is an Adam and Eve setup. It's not a double bottom per se, but it resembles that. And I do expect that we will break out to the upside. That's all I'm getting at here is even with this downside, even though at the top we were bearish to this point, and now that we're at this point we're bullish, we are assuming that we will recover. And the thought, again, since probably sometime around here, is that we will probably BART out of this, right? We saw BART City from November 21st to like December 10th. For like all this time it was BART City. I theorized at that time, wouldn't it be funny if this was just one giant BART down and then back up? And with that theory, I've also theorized, I've extended this thought to say, I think that the recovery, when we break out of this phase, will be faster than the onslaught to the downside was. So this took, in other words, right, this took, to get to this point here, this took 3 days, high to low. It took you 10 days overall to make that move. I'm assuming that from wherever we start our next move and then we end it, it'll take less than 10 days and we will be above this point. It might even take less than 5 days, right? Because that was 1, 2, 3, 4 days there to get down to this area. By the time we break this, it would probably take less than 4 days to get back above this point. Once we're above 95K, it will take less than 4 days to get above 107K. Once we are above 95K, it will take less than 4 days to get back above 107K. That's the theory. It doesn't have to. Maybe it takes 14 days. Maybe it's a slower approach up there. Whatever. But by the end of this month of January, I'm very convinced we will see prices that are a solid amount above $100,000. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, zooming in, and then we'll zoom out from there. Ooh, look at that. Do you guys see it? Do you see it? So, we're moving up. Volume's coming in. Very good. Then right here, at this point, volume starts to die off as we're moving up. That means we're probably going to pull back, and pull back we did. Now we're at a point of low volume, so we're at a point where we're going to break out one way or the other. We chose the downside, and the volume came in to back it up. Consolidating again in this area, then we broke out to the downside, and volume came in to back it up. Consolidating in this area, we broke out again to the downside. Oh, no volume to back it up. Just like here when we were moving up, there's no volume to back it up, and we turned direction. Now we're turning the opposite direction. We're moving up, and volume's coming in. Whenever I said, do you see it, what I was pointing at originally was, or what I was thinking of originally, was that you had volume increasing as you were moving down, and then you moved down lower, and volume just went away completely. Now volume's coming back as we're moving up. More volume at the lows and out of the lows. To me, this looks like a bottom. I think that was it. I don't think we go lower than there. That, my friends, could very well be the low. I was going to say the lowest price of this year, but I think, let's see, yeah, we opened up the year down here. We might not see prices below 90K again for the rest of this year, if not ever, for Bitcoin. 1 hour RSI also showing signs of readiness. You're breaking out of your downtrend, right? Lower highs here. You shifted your downward sloping trend into a sideways sloping trend, and now you're probably gearing up for an upward sloping trend. Breaking out of that downtrend. This is a nice 1 hour trend to break out of, but it's the 1 hour. It's not that significant nonetheless. Relative to this movement here, I would expect we get some type of retracement, right? Again, getting above 95K is when we get excited. We're excited now for the move above 100K, but it doesn't have to happen like this, right? We can take our time. We can dilly-dally. It could be sometime next week that we're breaking out, but we probably do see 100K. I would think we see 100K as early as next week, if not the following week, personally. But it could be next week that we see 100K or higher, likely higher. Stochastics look bullish. MACD has bullish divergence, absolutely beautiful bullish divergence. Of course, we're going to move up from here. Yeah, the first places to note would be 91.3K. Once we get above these points of support, this point of resistance, this 382 here, once we get above that on a consistent closing basis, we look to the golden ratio at 92.6 to 93K. And then once we're above there, we look for 93.5 to 94.1K. And once we are above 94.1K, 94.2K, once we're above this level here, that's whenever we start thinking about prices above 95K. Once we get above 95K, that's whenever we start thinking about prices as high as 116K, as low as 101K. It's a big range, but probably somewhere right in the middle there, around 107K, 110K. 4 hour time frame. I mean, just look at this. Look at this behavior. Low to high. Right at the golden ratio. Right at this relative fib golden ratio right there. It's a perfect pullback. You're pulling back every step of the way, decaying in volume. I don't think this is real at all. I think the real move is to the upside, not to the downside. We back tested prior resistance on a closing basis as support. You closed here at your highs. 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 You closed here at support, 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 resistance. You're doing it again. Very significant area, and you're probably going to bounce from here. That was the thought, right? That was the original thought, was that from here we went down, from here we went down, from here we went down. From here we're going to consolidate and then go up. It's going to be different. Different behavior begets different results. 4 hour RSI. Back down toward the oversold zone, but absurdly bullish. I hope it's obvious as to why we're absurdly bullish. Most of your life recently, you've been living above the 50. Very small amounts of time are you below the 50. We're below the 50 now. I don't expect this to be long-lived. You're getting overbought, overbought, overbought consistently, and not once getting oversold. Rarely even getting below the 40. So this is a clear, I think this is a very bullish time to buy. We found support here consistently before. We're finding it now. I think we'll move up. Good looking RSI, and it's reset, it's cooled off. You literally here have a lower low than you did back here, and yet you have a higher low in the price. It's called hidden bullish divergence. Look it up. What does it mean? Word for word, look this up. What does it mean when the price has higher lows, but the indicator has lower lows? It'll come back and say that's hidden bullish divergence. Stochastics pointing up, reset, Very bearish at this level, consistently oversold here, but still you're pointing upwards coming out of the oversold zone. We should look for some recovery here. The MACD is perfect. It looks perfect. You built so much bearish momentum, and this is all you got. This is all you got. You got a higher low. You built more bearish momentum than any of these other ones, and you got a higher low out of it. You're finding support at prior resistance. Now your oscillators are back at the zero, this level here, ready to bounce. It's pretty common. So great. You look good. You look ready to go. It doesn't have to be today. I wouldn't be surprised, and I said this on Tuesday or Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a weekend rally, if we pumped over the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Daily time frame here, looking at this. RSI is back at the 50. Perfect area. Look at what we're doing here, guys. Higher lows galore. It's right in this little trend. It's perfect. It's exactly what we were calling for. Stochastics back down here at the 50. Perfect. Ready to bounce. And the MACD, she's ready to break through the zero. The last time that we broke through the zero was here in September. And that moment there, well, we did consolidate. We came back down. We found a higher low. But when we found support at the zero and then we actually separated, that was the run that took us to new all-time highs. I mean, just to look at how fast Bitcoin can move here, 108K, we moved up about $20,000. We moved up about $20,000 in the course of about 10 days, 11 days, less than 2 weeks. And that's not even really that fast. I mean, it is. It's pretty fast. Hold on. It's pretty fast, but Bitcoin can move faster, and I'm assuming it will at some point. These crosses here to the upside right there, that resulted in a very nice move, very voluptuous move right there. Whenever we crossed to the upside over here, right there, that resulted in a very nice move as well. We crossed to the upside right here on the daily MACD, crossing above the zero. You see the zero line over here. It's like right here. It's where the green base is. It's where the red top is right here, right? You're crossing above. Even for a little bit, this is a fake out. You still got a nice rally. All I'm saying is, guys, we're crossing above the zero right now. We're about to. We're set. The stochastics are reset. The RSI is reset. We're at a perfect place to bounce for various indicators across all of our time frames right now. In the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily. And the MACD is about to cross the zero. This move does not represent any of the MACD crosses that we've seen. So what's coming next, again, is likely going to be faster than what happened here. All to wrap that up in a pretty little bow. My thoughts are it is a super obvious target to call for this zone right here between the closing low and the wicking low of about 101.4 to 99K. I have a theory that we will tear through this. And what we're going to do is we're going to shake people out. So I don't think that we're just going to blast through it in one fell swoop. I would imagine what we do is we interact with this zone, we sell off just a little bit, just to confirm that confirmation bias that all the bears down here are like, okay, well, we're going to move up, we're going to find a lower high, and then we're going to move down. We'll do a little bit of that, but then we'll keep pushing up. This move, mark my words, this move to what will probably be more accurately 106 to 110K, let's just say, but probably closer to 107K if I had to guess. Let me look. Let me just use the fibs to be certain. Yeah, we nailed it. 106.3 to 110K. It's perfect. Golden ratio. We're probably going to move up to this zone faster than anybody expects. And then mark my words, I'm a genie with this. I'm gonna perform some TA wizardry here for you. Everybody's going to be bearish here. Maybe not everybody's going to be bearish here, but they're going to be calling for resistance and that we're going to go lower here. This is the lower high. This is the point at which we go lower. And then everybody's going, and they're going to be wrong. And then everybody's going to be bullish here, and then they're going to be wrong too. And then we're going to pull back. We're not going to pull back at the place everybody expects to pull back, and then we will pull back from the place that everybody flips bullish. Mark my words, you're going to see this happen probably over the next 2 weeks. By the end of this month, you're going to see this happen. Maybe it doesn't happen. We'll see. But I've seen this happen before. It feels like I can see it coming a mile away. Hopefully you guys can see it too. We'll see. I don't mean like hopefully you can see it as in like you see it right now with me. I mean hopefully you can experience it to just see what I mean. Because again, I'm just thinking here, the amount of time that we've been here, It's pretty damn obvious at this point. Maybe back here it was less obvious that we could come up here and find resistance, right? That might not have been on everybody's radar, but at this point, anybody who's doing any kind of analysis at all is completely aware of this point here. And that's why I don't think we stop there. I think we push through. After all this consolidation, we're just going to get a little wimpy move up. I mean, if we stop there and then we move down, maybe we are in a bear market, because that would be very wimpy from this area. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.